Hi everyone. So I wanted to take this time to make a little video to help answer any questions that I kind of got over this past week, because there are quite a few questions from you guys. So I just want to be able to answer them for you, and maybe there's some other people that had the same types of questions that didn't ask. So I'm hoping that this video can kind of clear those things up for you. I just want to say that I am so appreciative and thankful how understanding and patient you guys have been over this past week. I know that it's challenging and difficult, but having you guys be able to understand that has really been helpful. I apologize that this has been such a mess and kind of all over the place. I really do. I don't want to make this any more difficult for you guys than it has to be. So I'm sorry if you feel that that has been that way. But we are really trying to fix all those uh, the cracks and things like that to make it better for our upcoming weeks. So again, thank you for your patience and understanding in all of that. So like I said, there are a few questions that I want to try to answer and address to kind of help clear some things up for our upcoming weeks. One of the questions that I kind of want to answer is where to find assignments. So that was a question that I kind of had in the beginning of the week. If you're someone that is still kind of stuck on that, I want to show you where you find them. So right now you can see on my screen, I'm just on the Google homepage. So if you just go to sign in over here, that's going to take you to this test. I'm going to just go to my test account here. So you can see what it looks like kind of from a student's point of view rather than mine. So you remember you go to this little grid here, you go to classroom. You click on that. Mine is just going to show my class. This one shows multiple. So if you want to find an assignment, you're going to go to here to classwork. So every morning, I know I said this before, there's a morning message. So if you were looking at today, there's going to be a video and then a morning meeting check-in. These morning meeting check-ins are really fun and cool for me to kind of see what your child is up to. So please make sure you're kind of submitting one of those every day. And then your ELA and math, it's always going to say whatever week it is and whatever day it is. That's the assignment that is asked for you to do that day. Although they are all open on the first start of the week. So this week they were open on Monday at 8 a.m. and they're not due until Friday at 9 p.m. So yes, it is. Hopefully, we want your child to be doing a little bit of work each day, but if you get more than one done in a day, that is fine too. So that is where our ELA, our math is the same thing. It's going to say the week and the day. Social studies and science, there's only one lesson per week. So that is up to you when you would like to complete that lesson. And then also is all of our specials. So there's STEM, library, gym, art, and music that your child has to complete at least once a day. And there's one of those for each day each week. So make sure they are doing these and completing their specials. And then also down here are our resources tabs. So let's say you get to a point during a lesson where you feel like, okay, we finished early, we have a little bit of extra time, I want my child to do some more work. So these are where you're going to go to those extra resources. They can hop onto any one of these and kind of just do some extra resource things that will help improve their learning. So please take advantage of these down here. I sent you the password, so you should have those for all of them. So if you have any questions with these, please let me know. So I hope that kind of clarifies the question on where to find assignments. The next question that I had was how to submit assignments. So people are reaching out asking me, is my assignment submitted? And if it's not, how do I do that? So I understand, like we said, this week was a little bit of a mess, and some days there were things because of complications where I said, "Don't worry about turning anything in; it's not really working." Um, and there may be some days where there is an assignment that will show up where you actually there isn't anything for you to physically submit. But if you go to an assignment, so let's say you're looking down here at today's, which was week 1, day 4. So obviously you were asked to click on this button and go through the lesson this way, right? You want to make sure that once you are done going through the lesson that way, you click down here, which says view assignment. And over here, it says turn in. So you want to make sure you're clicking turn in. So then that way on my end, I see that you are turning in, that's telling me that you completed that whole template there with the video and the independent practice and stuff. So make sure you're going over here and clicking turn in. Also, there were a lot of problems this week where people were saying that different exit tickets or websites and things weren't working for you to turn in your work. So let's say you come across that where an exit ticket or a practice page or whatever it might be that is not working. Some reason it glitched or something like that. Another option that you can do for that is, let's say you complete the exit quiz or the page or whatever it might be, you can record your answers on a separate piece of paper, or if you still want to do them in the exit ticket and take a picture of it, you can add it here to the assignment. So you can add it to your Google Drive or add a file here, and you can submit that. And then that way I can see the picture of the work if you physically are not able to turn in the exit ticket or quiz or whatever it might be that you needed to turn in for that day. So this is a great resource where you can add a picture if the assignment is not allowing you to kind of, complete that. So you can add a picture there. And then, like I said, make sure you're clicking turn in after you go through the lesson. So that way I know that you completed it and you are turning that in. That is how you turn in assignments and add pictures if you need to, if something is not working. The next question I had a lot of questions, like I was just kind of saying about the exit tickets. This week, we kind of had a real big problem with the exit tickets or the Google Forms that they did not seem to be working, and it was just kind of a mess. So I kind of just said for this week to let those go. Don't worry about it. But for next week, I want to let you know that we are going to be doing kind of an exit quiz. So your child will go through the assignment, they will do the assignment, and then there will be a quiz at the end, a couple of questions regarding that lesson, and it will give them the answers to the problems of the quiz that they just answered. So that way, it will give them a little bit of feedback as well on which ones they got right and which ones they got wrong, and things like that. So look forward to seeing that next week, the exit quizzes, which look just like the exit tickets, but it's just going to kind of give them the answers at the end. Um, Another kind of main question that I had is how to log into Think Central, which is had a lot to do with our math lessons when they went to go do the personal trainer videos and or practice pages. It wasn't working, or they went to go log in and it logged them out, or something like that. So we're having a lot of problems with Think Central. We don't really know why. One, a lot of people are saying if you don't have an updated Adobe Flash player, that might be the cause. If you're using an iPad or a tablet, that may have been the cause. It could be that there's just too many people on it at one time. That could be it. We're not really sure. But moving forward, I will have to say that we are going to not really use Think Central. We're going to kind of tackle math with a different approach, so you won't really have to worry about next week using Think Central. So that hopefully will kind of clear a lot of things up with that. Also, another question I had was about social studies and science, which I'm pretty sure I answered earlier, but I'll just kind of go back and say that again. Your social studies and science, you have one lesson each week. So it's a 30-minute science lesson, a 30-minute social studies lesson, and you can kind of complete that whenever you want throughout the week. So there isn't a specific day that you need to do science or social studies. As long as you have them done by the end of the week, that is okay with me. Um, Also, another question was about our special teachers, which is our STEM, library, gym, art, music, and things like that. You need to make sure these are mandatory. So please make sure that you are completing these lessons. You should probably do one a day. And if you look at the week at the glance, it tells you which special to do for that day. And if you have any questions regarding these, let me know and I will reach out to that teacher and hopefully they can then reach out to you to answer any questions because remember, I am not the one that put these lessons together, so I don't, I may have the answer, but they will probably do a better job at answering your questions if you have any questions about them. Um, and then I did have a couple questions regarding attendance and things like that. The best way that I can explain the attendance is honestly to go back to Mrs. Riley's email about the distance learning handbook. In there answers a lot of questions that I kind of received from you guys. So go back and look at that regarding the attendance and any other questions that you might have that I didn't answer on here that kind of just have to do with our distance learning as a whole. Um, she did a pretty good job at putting that all together, explaining all of that. So just go back and take a quick look at that if you need to. Um, and then obviously, if you have any other questions, please ask me. Um, so next week, I just want to kind of give you a little sneak peek of what next week's going to look like. It's going to be basically the same as this week. Each lesson, the templates are still going to look the way that they looked this week, which is like this. There will be a lesson, which is a video explaining the lesson. There will be an independent practice here. It's going to say exit quiz. So there's going to be that quiz that I told you after each ELA and after each math lesson, there will be a little quiz that they will kind of answer the questions that went along with that lesson and submit it. And they will get that instant feedback, which ones they got right, which ones they got wrong. And that way I will be able to see all of their answers that they completed as well to see if they are getting those questions right. So that's kind of how next week will go. It will look the same way as this. You'll have the goals, you'll have the lesson with the video, and then there will be an exit quiz that they need to complete after each lesson. Anything else that is in here is optional, it is not mandatory, but watching the lesson and doing the little quiz will be the mandatory part. So once you do that, then make sure you go back in here and, like I said, click um, turn in. So I think those are kind of all the questions that I had regarding this week. I think that you guys have been great, and it seems like you are navigating through this like experts. So I am really appreciative. It seems like a lot of my other um, colleagues are having a little bit more issues, but I am so grateful that you guys have been working through these problems and trying to figure them out. But please don't hesitate to ask me any type of question that you may have. I'm here to support you in any way that I can. But I hope that this video gave you guys some clarity or answered any unanswered questions that you may have. If there are more questions that you have that I did not answer in this video, I will be happy to create another one of these to answer those questions. So please just reach out and let me know. Um, but I hope that this kind of brings you well and, like I said, answers any of those questions. But thank you so much again for all your hard work and patience and support and all of that. I know it's not easy, but we'll get through this together. So I hope that you guys have a great weekend and a great holiday, and I will be talking to you soon.